What is going on, brothers? This is David Lyon, founder of Evolving Man. So there's a lot of talk out there about how you just need to follow the things that are pleasurable and exciting in your life, and don't do the things that are painful, and you will get the life that you want, or you will create more of that pleasure and less of the stuff that you don't enjoy. And so I want to dig a bit deeper into this topic and kind of dissect, first of all, what is real pleasure and what is real pain? Why is it not that simple to just say, oh, I just need to follow the things that are pleasurable, like why you might get tripped up, and then kind of conclude with, okay, well, what is the actual way to move forward? So let me start by, in a way, like defining what is real pleasure and what is real pain. So my understanding of real pleasure and real pain, like what actually feels pleasurable and painful, is that you will feel pleasure in your life. You will feel enjoyment and a sense of well-being and like a groundedness and centeredness and life is pretty good. When you live in alignment with who you are and how life works. So when you understand the needs that you have and the things that you need to have in your life to feel good, and you follow them, and then when you also kind of follow and apply the kind of laws that exist in life. Like a very practical example is the law of gravity. Like you will not feel true pleasure in your life when you think that you're somehow above the rule of gravity and you jump off of a building, right? And so like that, there's certain laws that when you follow, you will feel pleasure. So in that sense, yes, following what feels pleasurable, meaning doing the things that are in alignment with who you are and how life works, and not doing the things that are painful, yes, that's like the way to move forward. But, and a very big but, we have learned certain things. So we have certain things saved in our nervous system that kind of twist this whole thing around in a pretty complex way. So your nervous system is wired for safety. That's what its like first purpose is to keep you safe. Okay, and so when we grow up, we fall into this world where the people around us are not these enlightened beings who are, always loving and always there for us and always supportive, but who have their own wounds, right? So when you, as a child, grow up surrounded by these people, you learn how they function, and you learn that when you behave in a certain way, they approve of you, they're with you, they love you, and when you act in other ways, they don't like it and they're upset, and they might even turn away, or they might be angry with you, or just do things that from a child's perspective are life-threatening. So when you as a child are angry and express your anger, and your parents get really upset, right? And you can sense that they get really stressed. That feels really threatening for you as a child, because ultimately you need the approval of your caretakers to survive. Without that, you're dead, right? Why am I saying all of this? Because as you grow up and you have these experiences, you learn, okay, if I behave this way, I get the approval of people, and if I behave that way, I don't. And because your nervous system is wired for safety, what will get you the approval of other people will feel pleasurable, and what will feel like you're losing the approval of people will feel painful. And so here's where it gets twisted. What gets you the approval of other people is not necessarily being in full alignment with who you are and how life works. So to give you an example, many of us learn to be like the nice guy, the nice boy, who is like always kind and gentle and loving, because you learned that that's what mommy likes, and then mommy loves you and mommy takes care of you. And maybe in many of these moments, you don't actually internally feel like being nice. You're feeling angry, and there's a lot of energy, and you want to express it, and you have boundaries, but you don't communicate them because you don't want to lose the approval, and you want to feel safe, right? And so this is where it gets really twisted, because on some level it feels pleasurable when you're being nice, because it gets you the approval. But on another level, it's also painful because it's not in alignment with who you are and how life works. Okay, so see where this gets a little bit more complex, where we cannot just say, oh, just do the things that feel pleasurable, because those are a lot of approval-seeking behaviors. And so on the other side, the things that feel dangerous for your nervous system are that's maybe being more authentic, that's maybe expressing more of who you are, but in a way where it might upset other people. Okay, and so if you want to live a kind of life where you feel empowered to really express who you are going to express sides of you that other people might not like. For example, being angry. For example, communicating very clear boundaries. For example, doing things differently than other people because you realize that, you know, the way other people do things doesn't work for you. And so that's going to upset people. And so if your nervous system is still wired in the way that, oh, upsetting people is dangerous because I need the approval of others, following your true path is going to feel painful. And so that's what so many people that I'm in touch with, and I mean myself included, that's what the challenge is. Following your truth will at first feel painful and dangerous. Now, does that mean that you're doing something wrong? No. It just means that you're doing something that risks losing the approval of other people. And so that is, like, in our nervous system is wired with death. That means you're going to die. And so we need to move through that. And we need to be able to be with that pain long enough to realize that that's not true pain. That this kind of pain is not the pain of I'm not in alignment with who I am and how life works. And the other way around, being the nice guy, being always kind, is not the real kind of pleasure of that's being in alignment with who I am, taking care of myself and understanding how life works. But it's trying to get the approval of other people so that I feel safe, so that I don't die. Okay? So yes, follow what's pleasurable, but also really learn to feel the difference between what is true pleasure and what is the kind of pleasure of survival. Make sense? So if you have any questions about this, please put them in the comments. I know this is a bit of a more complex topic, but it's very important to understand that not everything that feels pleasurable to you in the first moment is true pleasure. So do these things. Like, it's not about like you have to mistrust now everything that you feel, but go through the experience, like follow the things that are pleasurable, but then actually see, do they actually lead to more pleasure? When you are acting nice and it feels good in the first moment, does it lead to more pleasure in the long run? Or the other way around, when you do something that's painful, that feels really uncomfortable, is that actually leading to more pain, or is it actually leading to real pleasure? And so this is where things are very twisted, and we need to start kind of taking things apart and looking at things and making our own experience and start putting these things into order so that we understand, like, what is real pleasure and what is real pain and what is the kind of twisted stuff that we learned over time that actually has nothing to do with real pleasure and real pain. All right? Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this. Give this video a like if it helped you. And as always with Evolving Man, you're seen, you're loved, you're appreciated. Keep evolving, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.